Today, the theme suggested itself because right from morning, I saw how things developed helplessly, one after the other, and I found Bhagwan activating everything. I saw the secret hand of Bhagwan behind all the details of the day. I saw his secret gaze upon everything. I saw his secret smile behind everything. It was so tangibly clear, I felt overwhelmed at times. Lord Buddha says, lives are lived, deeds are done. There is no one to live the life, there is no doer. What does it mean? The one supreme power has assumed all the forms that we see around and is playing the role of everyone. It is playing the role of a tree. It has put on the costume of a stone and it's playing the role of stone. It has put on the costume of a lady's form and it acts out the role of that lady. Everything is only a role play, and that's being done by the supreme power, the one power that created the whole cosmos and is running the whole show. This is the secret of life. This is the secret of soul. If only we could experience this, we would know no mistake is ever ours. No achievement is ever ours. Even the movement of a little finger, Ramana Maharishi says, even the movement of the little finger is predetermined, preordained. Everybody's life is already a finished movie. You cannot change a scene. But if you do want to, you have to tell the director. And the director may change it or may not change it. It's completely his will. We can appeal to him though. So this appealing is being aware of God's existence and connecting with Him in some way or the other. Every day we go to sleep, and in sleep we dream. And in the dream, everything is so real. Every detail is so real. How would you know? When you enter a forest, you know it is very dark, and suddenly you come across a wild animal. You are very frightened because it's dark and you are alone and there's nobody around. And there are wild animals everywhere. There could be ghosts also. Suddenly you find some form jumping upon you, pouncing on you. And then you scream and run for life. You scream and scream. And you wake up. And you are still trembling. You look around. No forest, no wild animals, no ghosts. You are very safe in your room, in your comfortable bed. So which is true? The one that you dreamed or the one that you live now? Every day, every night we dream. Every day morning we wake up only to know whatever we dreamed was only a dream. Now this life is our long dream. It doesn't get over in one night. It runs over several years. And it is so long that none of us ever get to know that this is a dream. But make sure, one day, you will come out of this dream also. You'll wake up. That's what we call the spiritual awakening. When you awaken from this dream, you will know instantly all this has been a dream. None of it ever really existed. So this is why it's called Maya. The only reality about this Maya, the illusory life, is the divine is inside us, each one of us. The divine has put on the costume of each person and is playing the role and has given you the false identity, the ego self. I do not have any experience of this ego self or any other self. I have experience of only this ego self. And I don't even think it is ego self. I think it's the only self. So, when I do not have any experience, how can I accept it? There are people who know it, who have experienced it. The great masters who are established in this truth, who are awakened, and who knows the whole view. They come and tell us, you are only a machine. You are only a puppet. The divine puppeteer is right inside you, operating, activating you into movement, into thoughts, into words, into actions. It is he who really thinks, talks, and does. You don't exist. This ego self that I am doing, I am thinking, I am talking, is a false self, but there's no way we would know that it's false. So how do we understand this? People who know it, who have experienced it, they're coming amidst us and they're telling us all the time that we are only instruments in the hands. This is what I saw today. Every detail of today, it's a function, a celebration. From morning, everything, every detail of the day, which is going ahead by itself. I don't know if people would understand this when I say it, but I saw how everything was carried out. This is happening all the time. This February 20th was according to the English calendar, that Mahasamadhi day, but today is according to Hindu calendar. This is the day of Mahasamadhi. Since we follow the Hindu calendar, we observe this day in a Hindu Vedic way, the Vedic way, with Veda Parayana and Mahabhishekam, the anointing, and the puja and the arati. Bhagwan, this Nama and Vedas, the two eyes of Bhagwan. Bhagwan loved both of them equally. And that's why we celebrate both the days. So now, let us remember what Buddha said, what Bhagwan has been saying, dinning into our head all the time. That Father alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else. Meaning, the Supreme Father has taken the forms of all of us. And He is playing our roles. He is living our lives. Every detail of our life is being lived by the Supreme Father. Then why doesn't God show, godliness show in our life? The Supreme Father is playing a role, just as the actors on a stage different people. There is somebody to play the role of a hero. There is somebody to play the role of the villain. There are people who play the role of the sub-characters. Now here, it is a one-man show. It is the divine who is playing the hero, the divine who is playing the villain. It is the divine who is playing all the sub-characters. And it is divine who speaks the dialogues through these characters. And it is the divine that has become the stage. And above all, it is the divine that is sitting in the audience enjoying the show. This is from eternity to eternity. A great world show, eternally going on. So what is our role in this? We are burdened with the ego self, with all our limitations, helplessness, and all negative thinking. It's a real burden, this ego. There is so much fear, so much jealousy, so much anger, so much grief, sorrow, and so much desire. When somebody dies, we feel that our life is gone. But the next day morning, the stomach calls out and you want to eat something. Life goes on. You sleep in the night, you eat. How many days you can keep yourself away from eating? Normalcy returns. That is all the truth of it. Because everything is forgotten with the flow of time. So let us remember what Bhagwan said, Father alone exists, there is nothing else, no one else. And that Father, the Supreme Father, that is Yogi Ramsuratkumar on this Mahasamadhi day. He became one with the Supreme Power and he is now acting out as the Supreme Power. Even when he had the body, he was doing that. But we were not to know because we were seeing the body all the time and thinking the body was our Guru. And now, without the body, he has become an all-pervasive, all-knowing, all-powerful, Supreme Power, Almighty. And is working out the details of our life, activating us from inside into thinking, talking and doing everything. So let us acknowledge it. Let us remember what these great masters have said from their experience, from the highest truth, that we are only instruments in the hands of the divine. So do not regret that you have done a mistake. It has relevance only as far as you decide you will not repeat it again. And then you forget it. Don't go into depression thinking about it all the time. Don't brood over anything. Similarly, your achievement is not your achievement. It happened by the divine grace. It could have happened any other way. Why it happened to you? Bhagwan often said, it's very difficult to understand why the divine chooses one person for one work and not the other. Mysterious are the ways of the divine. Never ask why. We can only know how. So we have to learn this we have to bear the burden of the ego self, go about our life as though we are doing everything. But all the time, let's remember what Bhagwan said, that we are only instruments and that it is He who is running our life. And to remember that His Nama is necessary. Because when we chant the name, we remember the Nami. When we chant the name of God, we remember God. And then we remember it is He who is playing my role. It is He who is activating me into thinking, talking and doing. And I am only an instrument in His hands. So remembering the name is remembering this great truth that He is running my life. He is activating my body. He is activating my brain into thinking. Otherwise, how would you run your life? And knowing that we can only be instruments in the hands of God, let us do it with this awareness that we are being activated by Him all the time. And let us do it with gratitude. And because everything is being done by the Divine, and there is only the Divine, whatever happens only by the Divine will. And whatever happens is necessary, and that's why it's happening. Why is it necessary? It's necessary for your journey, for your pilgrimage towards the highest truth. That my Father alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else. To know that your life has become a pilgrimage. Everybody's life is a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage to the ultimate destination. The destination, the being, the presence of God. So in the pilgrimage of life towards this Paramdham, the final destination, the supreme destination, we have to connect with God somehow or the other. And what could be better than the Nama chanting, which you can do in a crowd, which you can do in solitude. Every Nama should remind you that it is He alone. There is nothing else, no one else. When I say Yogi Ramsuratkumar, when I say Rama, when I say Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, it means Arunachala Shiva alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else, and it is He who is running my life, who is activating me. So while remembering the name, you must remember this great truth also. And remember the grace of the Divine. Now let's submit our today's prayers at the feet of Bhagwan. The supreme power that's running the whole cosmos. Only that supreme power can bring about a change in today's world. So we appeal to you, Bhagwan, again and again for your immediate divine intervention to free the entire world from the present predicament, the pandemic, and bring back a better normalcy than ever before. In every aspect of life, everywhere in the world. And Bhagwan kindly uproot all the negativities from the body and the mind and take us along the path of truth with the awareness that we are only instruments in your hands and that whatever happens is only grace. It's meant for my spiritual growth, my one step closer to your vibrant presence. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.